Easy guys, Dom here from Cringy Dad Gaming. So welcome to The Last of Us Part 2, and this is our second part of our walkthrough guide where we're playing as Ellie out on patrol. The first section of this is pretty much just exploring some of the buildings that you can access, nothing too taxing here. Just make sure you check all the drawers and all the areas for some goodies that you will find throughout this section. We are just going to skip through this and get to the point where we first get into more of the challenging combat that comes with The Last of Us Part 2.
How many do you think it would take to bring down a moose?
More than one. Where the hell are they?
Let's go find them.
So the great thing about playing as Ellie is she does start off with a couple of half decent weapons. You've got the rifle, which is also known as the long gun, a handgun, but funnily enough, you do actually start off with a blade, which is pretty good. It means you can do some quick, stealthy takedowns without having to initiate any real hand-to-hand combat. So straight off from climbing in the window here, we're going to have what's called a runner. Easy prey, really. Just pressing square once you've grabbed them to be able to do the business.
Down.
That's one. Let's see if we can get around to the back of the supermarket.
Good idea.
So I do tend to check most things so we don't miss anything, but you're always going to get these little prompts come up on things that you can interact with. So it's always good just to run over and check things just in case you're missing something. There are a few little hidden areas within the game. The bottles can be used more than just distraction. Now we can use them to be able to stun the enemies, which is also pretty handy if you get into that sort of situation where you've got a runner running at you. You're able to throw bricks and bottles to be able to stun them.
We came in was barricaded. How'd that runner get in here?
Yeah, it's a good question.
What's the most infected you've ever taken down on patrol?
It's really good to check all the drawers because we definitely want those upgrade parts for the weapon for later on. We're going to be able to get a chance to use an upgrade bench, and it's going to make a massive difference to things like the damage of your weapons, being able to add a scope to your rifle and whatnot. So definitely make sure you're not missing any of these things that could be hidden away in each area you go through. So we're just going to head up to this left-hand corner. You'll climb up through this window here where you can see the blood going through. Now the great thing about having Dina with you here is it means you can pretty much double up on taking down these runners. So she'll take one while you take the other. Just makes life a little bit easier. There is another 3 in this area. We want to deal with this one on the left first. Notice there is some bottles here next to this bin. What we're going to do is we are actually going to use one of these bottles as a distraction for the 2 that are inside. Otherwise they may see you take out this guy here. Once they're occupied with that, we can now take out this guy just in the doorway here. You may get an audio prompt that the runners inside are likely to see you, but usually you can kill that guy without them noticing. Now these guys should walk past the door here, at least one of them, so we're just keeping an eye on where he is by using our listening skill. And this guy is also easy work. Dina will take out the final guy, And again, just check the drawers in the area for any items that may be left behind.
That all of them? Yeah. Looks like it.
We've still got to get the ones in the supermarket.
Let's keep circling the building. There's gotta be a way in.
So there's not really anything else in here. It's just a matter of waiting for Dina to come over to this postal van for her to be able to climb up and then give you a lift
Wanna
up.
look around?
All right, go ahead.
There's a hole in the roof over there. Here.
Thanks.
Look. See?
All right. Let's figure out how to get in there. Under here.
So easy here, you just got to crawl underneath this truck. A little bit of a jump scare there maybe, but it's just a matter of just wrestling this runner off you by tapping square, and Dina will finish her off.
Ellie? Are you clean?
Yeah. Just banged up.
Please die of old age and not because you get infected.
So a few things to collect in this area. Again, some upgrade weapon parts in the back of the truck here. And there was a bottle in there as well, but we've already got one of those. We can only carry one at the moment. Just round inside here is also another section of the trailer. And in here you'll find some skill point medicine. That's what you want to call it.
Actually, yeah.
And a little bit of the lore, which you can collect there and read at your own leisure. So we're trying to head into the supermarket. We're going to get through the hole in the roof, and what we're going to do is we're going to jump
See any way to that roof?
from this cab here across the gap onto the back, the trailer here,
This way.
and then just head up to the roof and through the hole.
I'm in.
So again, we are just waiting for Dina here. There is some alcohol which we can collect in here, which will now prompt Dina to find some rags, allowing you to craft yourself a makeshift med kit to be able to heal yourself from where that runner jumped you just a moment ago. Notice how a little spanner icon comes up in the right hand corner next to your health bar. Just shows that you've got materials that are able to be used to craft an item.
I see spores in there. Mask's on.
Got it.
Remember, I don't want to have to shoot you in the face.
Oh, that's so sweet.
There is a hole in the wall in the right hand side there that you need to go through, but we want to go to the left first because again there are some items that we can use to craft in this room here.
I don't know. I think we're above it.
Let's get to the ground floor.
So again, just pressing X to be able to shimmy through. Take note of Employee of the Month job board here because we will need that to be able to access the safe in a moment in this office. Few filing cabinets that have some items in them. The note does kind of give a clue about the code. It's saying you're a good boy who got Employee of the Month. If you looked on the Employee of the Month board, you noticed there was a little doggo there. So it's the doggies month, which is July, and the year was 2013. So we want to input 7 as the month, and then literally 20, and then 13. So the 7th month of 2013. Not really too much of a taxing puzzle. Kind of makes it feel worthwhile though still when you figure that out to be able to get a few decent items that you're going to find handy later on. And don't forget to check your skills, see if you've got enough drugs to be able to upgrade them. You may have at this point, but I'm saving up mine for some of the better upgrades that we can use. So it's up to you if you want to spend your points or save them like me. There's a locker on the right hand side here, don't miss that, because there is again some upgrade points in there. And then we're just squeezing through the gap here into the bathroom, and this is where we'll have our first encounter with clickers. Now these guys have very sensitive hearing. You only have to move a little bit too quick and they will hear you. They are pretty tough and they will usually kill you straight away. Now in The Last of Us you used to have a shiv that you used to be able to use to be able to save you from that insta-death. In this instance we don't have a shiv, so you just really want to be very gentle using that left analog stick until you're behind them. Just remember they can't see you, so it doesn't matter if you're standing there or sitting there in front of them and they walk towards you. As long as they don't actually touch you, you're going to be absolutely fine. It's just a matter of being patient. You can also use bottles to be able to draw their attention, like we were using earlier on with the runners. Sometimes for me, as much as I am patient and I like stealth, sometimes the distances you're going to have to travel to be able to get behind one of these clickers can be quite vast. So what you can do is you can actually just smash a bottle quite close to you to bring the clicker to you. It's a little bit like a delivery service, but with a clicker. But there are other delivery services available, just saying that as a disclaimer there. But you get my point. So now the clicker's literally right near us. We ain't got to travel too far to get it, and we're just going to press triangle. When it prompts you to do so, it means you're within the radius. And that's the 2 clickers down in this area. Job done. Now, if you haven't got full rifle ammo at the moment, there is some rifle bullets in the drawer there, and that's really the only item that you're going to find in this area.
Walk out of here. Speaking my language.
So we're just heading into the left-hand corner here where we've got this wardrobe that's blocking the doorway. It is going to be one of these things where we've got to wait for Dina to come and help us.
Coming.
So a few crafting items in this area for you to collect. Make sure you do pick them all up. It's going to make a massive difference in the next room. Make sure you pick up the alcohol and the other bits that you've got in this room. Dina will give you your first Molotov here as well. Once you've got that Molotov, it now means we're able to craft them.
Careful with that. I'm a pro.
Now, Molotovs are great. In the first game, you used to be able to kill multiple enemies with them. It's slightly different in the second one from what I can see so far. We're just going to craft the second Molotov. You may not quite have enough. Depends on if you've collected the same amount of resources that I have along the way. But I'm going to show you how you can maximize the use of the Molotovs when you've got large groups of enemies. The first runner here on the left-hand side is pretty straightforward to take down. She's right there, or he's right there, for me to be able to take out. The next one will stumble as well, quite close to you. Again, be aware there are clickers in the area, so again, try and not move too fast. So we're going to continue around to the left here, just making sure we're moving quite gentle here because there is a clicker really close to us. There's a rag just up on the side there. Just make sure you pick that up. Now we've got a bottle still, so we're going to use this now to try and pull these clickers and runners into one location. Now, this is where we're going to use our first Molotov. Now, what used to happen in the first game is when you used to throw like a bottle, they would normally stand closer together than they do now, so it's a little bit harder to damage a large number of enemies in one go. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to use a second bottle and a second Molotov to pull them a little bit closer to the second one. This just means now we've managed to kill 2 clickers and a runner in one swift swoop.
And he's still moving.
Means we haven't wasted any ammunition, we haven't lost any health, we've not had any insta-deaths that you can get from clickers. And there are a few items for you to pick up around the area, so just make sure you explore and don't miss anything, which will come in handy as you progress through the game.
Let's go to the next lookout and take a fucking break. We earned it.
Agreed.
Look, do you see a way out?
So going over to the main door here, you will find a shutter. There is a interaction icon that appears on it, but unfortunately it's shut down tight, so you're not able to get out. Dina does say about giving her a leg up to get through to the roof. It's a little bit too high for that.
Hurl me up through that hole in the roof.
Rather than wasting your time with that, just over on the left hand side here is notice there's a little interaction icon come up. There is actually some rope underneath
Cable here.
this refrigeration unit that you can use to be able to climb up.
Yeah. That should hold us.
You just have to do the throw in with the rope like you would with a bottle. Just press down on L2 to be able to aim and then R2 to be able to throw. And it will prompt you with X once you can climb up it.
Here I go.
Now, I personally was expecting what you had in maybe the first one, where someone would climb up something and then you'd try and it would fall down and then you'd have a wave of enemies coming in. But unfortunately, that didn't happen in this section. So don't worry too much, guys. You're pretty safe at this stage. So once we climb over this wall here and drop down from the roof, it is just a matter of just getting back on the horses and finding your way through to the next section.
Storm's really picked up. How far are we from the lookout? Just past the next town. Following you. Hey, how far away are we? A few minutes out. Okay. This is getting worse. Turn back. We won't make it. We're almost there. I know, girl. I know. Keep going. Dina, how much further? Dina! Shit. Dina, where are you? door.
You been here?
Rode by it. Never came inside.
All right, let's make sure it's clear.
So there are no enemies in this area, but there are a few things to pick up along the way. One of the things being this window here can be smashed in order for you to be able to access the room.
It's back there.
So by using one of the bottles or something you've got on you that you can throw,
Anyone's been here.
you just smash the window and then climb through to be able to access the room, where you can pick up some upgrade parts for weapons, which you're going to be able to use in a second. We are near to the first workshop bench.
This has to be Eugene's.
Are you sure?
Yeah, nobody else would tinker with this shit. But why would he hide it from me?
Huh. Definitely Eugene's place. He was a firefly?
He served with Tommy.
I had no idea.
Yeah. They got into some real dark shit.
Like what?
He said he blew up a checkpoint at Denver QZ, killed 3 soldiers, and 2 civilians.
Jesus.
He also told me that he and Tommy slow tortured some big Fedra general. I don't buy Tommy doing that.
He could do worse.
What do you mean?
He and Joel did a lot to survive after the outbreak.
So just in this room here is a collectible. You collect some of the trading cards throughout the game.
Oh my god. It's Tommy and Eugene. Look at the babies here.
You'll find a couple of lore items in this area, such as that photograph there, and also in the bedside cabinet drawer here you'll find a letter to Eugene from what would seem to be his wife Claire. And when you flip that over, you'll also see a photo of him with Claire and his daughter. Again, just building the story of a character from the game. So through this next door here on the right hand side is the workbench. We're not able to use the workbench until we've actually powered up the generator, which is just behind us here. It's just a matter of interacting with it to start it up. And that's pretty much it really, guys, in this section. It's mainly going to be tinkering around on the workbench, which we'll do in a second, and that's pretty straightforward. And then you've just got a little bit of story content, which I'm not going to include in this walkthrough guide, just in case it would spoil it for any of you. So that's part 2 done, guys. Watch this space for part 3 of our walkthrough guide of The Last of Us Part 2. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on another video. Thanks for watching.